So welcome to the online workshop, your guide to choosing the right software for your garden designer or a landscape architect. So welcome to the immersive world of 3D visualization software in garden design and landscaping. In this exclusive workshop, we're going to dive deep into the transformative capabilities of industry-leading tools like SketchUp and Layout, Twinmotion, and Lumion. So you're going to get ready to unlock the whole new dimension of creativity and take your garden design projects to extraordinary heights. So you will learn with SketchUp and Layout how to bring your ideas into life with precision. From 2D sketch drawings, sketch files, etc., to 3D, as well to create stunning 2D presentations. And we're going to explore the seamless integration between SketchUp and programs like Twinmotion and Lumion. So this is what's in our agenda for this morning, as well as in more detail, into more deep and with checklists, etc., in the workbook available for everyone that is registered. If you want to know more, go to the link in the description of this video if you want to know how to get this digital workbook. So my name is Katrina. I'm a garden designer myself since 2007. I've graduated from Greenwich University in the UK, and since the beginning I wanted to explore how can I communicate better my ideas. So I was really bad at sketching, something I should probably practice more, but from the beginning I explored, and I was in the early stages of exploring SketchUp. So that's the first software I actually used. So again, register in the mailing list if you want to know more about the workbook and all the checklists and resources we have there. So module 1, introduction to 3D visualization software in garden design and landscaping. So why is this integration of 3D visualizations into your business offers significant advantages over 2D normal 2D plan sketches. So by leveraging the 3D models, you can enhance visualization and provide clients and stakeholders with a more realistic and immersive representation of your designs. The spatial relationship, the scale, the overall aesthetics of the project become much clearer, leading to improved communication, increased client satisfaction, and reduce misunderstandings that can be really expensive in the long run. So moreover, the 3D visualization bridge the gap between design professionals and clients, effectively communicating design intents and facilitating better collaboration throughout the process. So the flexibility of 3D models allows for quick design interactions, enabling you to explore alternative options and refine designs more effectively. So accurate measurements, quantities, and cost estimations can be derived from 3D models, ensuring precision, in project planning, budgeting, and procurement. So these detailed visuals can really help you out to make informed decisions and better communicate your ideas with your clients. So that's the important part, because normally when you're presenting just a 2D plan in a sketch format or a drawing format, a more traditional way, you're gonna have trouble of the client sometimes can't really imagine the space. Okay, so it's really important, and that's where 3D comes in. So these detailed visuals also play a crucial role in marketing and presentations, of course, by capturing attention, attracting clients, so conveying the unique selling points of your designs. 3D visualizations facilitate engagement, promoting effective discussions, approvals, and coordinating among project team. So really, really important things to think about when you're deciding if you really want to get into 3D world. Okay, I think it's not a question of if you want or not. I think you're going to have to, so you be competitive in the market. So by embracing 3D visualizations, your business gains a competitive edge, streamlines the design process, and improves communication, and delivers projects to meet client expectations more effectively. It empowers you to create compelling visual representations that capture the essence of our designs, ultimately driving business growth and success. So really important to really get into 3D visualization. And it's not going to be complex. It can be really simple. And these tools we're going to talk about today are really, really important for you to, to see how simple you can start with. Module 2, getting started with 3D visualization. So this is the main softwares I'm going to talk about today. Of course, there is other softwares in the market, but what I'm going to tell you here applies for the other ones as well. So basically, the point here is if you really want to choose a software, okay, you try to research as much as you can, but you're really going to find out is when you actually start trying out and practicing in that software. So that's something important you should know. So you should really get familiar with the software, and that's where you're going to invest your time. Of course, the research is important before you invest in the software, and your time, that's most expensive thing. But it's really important as well to know the capabilities of that software, okay? So this is a 3D process, and it's basically you start with sketches, hand-drawn sketches, a CAD file maybe from the architect, something like that. And then you go into a 3D model software, in this case, SketchUp, but you have things like Revit, ArchiCAD, other programs, okay? So basically, you need to model your project specifically in a 3D model program, okay? So programs like Twinmotion and Lumion, they are rendering programs, not modeling programs. So you need to model your project before you go into this softwares, it has software. So the thing, if you choose, for example, a bundle of between SketchUp and Twinmotion, you do your model in SketchUp, you go into in Twinmotion to do your 3D rendering. Being Twinmotion as it is now, you still need some post-production work. So you're going to need a post-production extra program software like Photoshop, for example. Then you can go back and do your layout presentation, okay? So you have this pathway. For example, if you're choosing SketchUp Lumion bundle, you don't need to go to another post-production program because Lumion is pretty good on that. But you need to go to layout for your presentation as well. Of course, you could always choose just SketchUp. And here it's an amazing software. It's my favorite software of all because of all the capabilities, and we're going to talk about later on. But basically, you have SketchUp and layout, the sister program, and you have it all here, all ready for your presentations and 3Ds, okay? So you need to create your own 3D software, your own 3D workflow that really helps you in your everyday projects, okay? So the 3D process involves several stages and collectively results in the creation of three-dimensional models and visualizations. So this is an overview of that process, but you're always going to need to adapt this process to your workflow. So you have the concept. The process begins in concept stage, so the sketches, the hand drawings, etc., gathering inspiration, etc. And this you do it in a very traditional way. You go to the modeling. So the next step is 3D modeling, where the concepts translate into digital representations in programs like SketchUp. Um, the next steps are all done in programs like Twinmotion and Layout, and that means texturizing and material of your model, okay? Lighting and rendering, of course. So lighting is an important part of all this process in creating 3D renderings, and animation, dynamics, of course. So in the post-processing, if you're working in Lumion, it's all done in Lumion. If you work in a Twinmotion, you still need an extra software, okay? And presentation and delivery, of course, you can use a program like Layout, or if you want something like InDesign to do your A3 presentations to your clients, etc., more typical way to present things, as well as you can have other ways of presenting designs, and that will be like VR, augmented reality, etc. And this can be done in SketchUp, in Twinmotion, or in Lumion. They all have these capabilities. Model 3 SketchUp, a comprehensive view. So I'm not going to open the software. I think everyone pretty much knows SketchUp. If you want to know more about SketchUp and have an overview of the actual software, you can go to my YouTube channel and I have videos on SketchUp and different things. So I'm just going to talk about some of their characteristics, okay, and some of their really strong points. So for me, SketchUp is the must-have, okay? I don't know if you're going to choose Twinmotion or Lumion or maybe none, but you need to learn a program like SketchUp or and Layout, the sister program. So, and what makes this software so different is the 3D warehouse and the extensions. So one of the key elements that sets SketchUp apart from other software is the integration with the 3D warehouse and the ability to install extensions. So the 3D warehouse is SketchUp's extensive online 3D models, and you have from planting, from furniture, all over the world, people adding and brands adding these models to this amazing 3D warehouse that's free to use. Okay, so this is one of the most important elements of SketchUp and the extensions. And the extensions offer a whole architecture enables users to extend this functionality by installing extensions. So you have extensions is like tools for really specific jobs, being terrain, being doing fences, windows, roofs, etc. So you have all these extensions available to you, some free, some good ones that they are worth being paid. So you have this wide range and of tools for specific jobs inside SketchUp. Okay, so users can customize SketchUp to suit their specific needs. And even in rendering, etc., you can add extensions for that just inside SketchUp. Okay, so this is an overview of SketchUp. So basically, it's gear that you're going to do your 3D model. And as you can see here, some examples, you can do all in SketchUp, your planting plans, everything, okay, using SketchUp and Layout, okay. So we go really into deep into our in our SketchUp online course. If you want to know more, just go to our website, our online course platform, or check out the workbook as well. So Twinmotion and key elements that set Twinmotion apart. So presentation mode and growth settings. So these are two elements. Of course, Twinmotion has much more than this. It has an amazing roadmap portal that you can see what's being implemented in Twinmotion. If you want to check out more, I have that in my website as well. What is lacking, starting comparing Twinmotion with Lumion, what is lacking in Twinmotion is the rendering effects. Okay, so you still need to do some post-production work in your images outside Twinmotion at a moment, but you have amazing things inside Twinmotion, especially presenting mode, the way to present your projects to your clients in a more interactive way, really amazing. You have quite a good library of models using a Quixel Megascan and Sketchfab, but it's lacking a lot in plants. Okay, so most of the time I use a lot of 3D warehouse plants inside Twinmotion. Of course, you can purchase plants from other websites like GlobePlants, Maxstream. So if you want to know more, check out my YouTubes because I have videos on how to purchase plants. So presentation mode and growth setting are the two standout elements that distinguish Twinmotion from the other software options. With presenter mode, Twinmotion offers a dynamic, immersive way to showcase your designs. User can create interactive presentations with annotation that allows clients and stakeholders to explore virtual environments, interact with objects, and interact with weather as well in that project. So this feature goes beyond the static visualizations, really easy to use, providing an engaging experience. On the other hand, the growth setting in Twinmotion allows designers to simulate realistic growth of vegetation. You can only use this setting for the default trees inside Twinmotion, really important. And the growth setting is really amazing to simulate not only growth but seasons as well. And the interesting part as well is that it doesn't just grow the model, he actually grows the branches in a more realistic way. So I would love them to have more for more vegetation. Right now they only have for the default library trees. Okay, so but you can start seeing the potentials here of these two elements. So this is the two elements that really set Twinmotion apart. And this program and Lumion, they are very easy to learn. Okay, so the learning curve, really simple, really cool. So Lumion, of course, what stands out in Lumion, it's the actual effects and the quality of the images and the amazing vegetation library. So from default, you have amazing vegetation, something that they really bet from the beginning in this program. So something that sold me on Lumion from the start, and it's my go-to software professionally. Okay, so the vegetation library and the effects when rendering are what sets Lumion apart. Okay, so the extensive vegetation library and the powerful rendering effects are the two elements that distinguish Lumion from other softwares. Lumion Vegetation offers a vast selection of realistic 3D plants, trees, shrubs, flowers, enabling designers to effortlessly populate their scenes with lush, vibrant greenery. And that's what we want, because some of these softwares, not Twinmotion has already some plants, but there are softwares with a high quality, maybe a much lower price, but they are very architectural focused. Okay, so we want something that has a lot of in the outdoors and not just in a gaming natural landscape environment, but was something you can use as a garden designer or a landscaper. So, and of course, Lumion's rendering effects play a crucial role here, creating visual stunning presentations that you don't need any post-production software, with a wide range of effects, filters, depth of field, lens flare, color correction, and more and more and more. So it's an amazing effect list. So if you want to go more into the details of the software, in the workbook I have from SketchUp, Twinmotion, and Lumion, we go more into depth into these tools. So, but if you know Lumion rendering style, of course you start seeing some of these rendering styles of Lumion. You see that they are really good quality renderings. So, when it comes to making a choice, what's really important when comparing these softwares? Again, if you could have just one choice, if your budget doesn't permit anything else, you just need one software, you need to go with SketchUp and Layout. That's a no-brainer. But then the choice becomes Twinmotion or Lumion. So you're always gonna need SketchUp, but then you're gonna go, okay, do I do SketchUp and Twinmotion or SketchUp and Lumion? Okay, so that's the big question here. And that's what we're gonna explore now, because there is a budget difference, of course. So we're going to go to this graphic. It shows you comparing the three softwares, okay, their features, let's say. But what you're going to need is to actually explore them practically, okay? So when comparing SketchUp, Twinmotion, and Lumion based on provide criteria, several distinguished factors come to light. So SketchUp offers an easy-to-use, intuitive user interface. So that's really for the whole three softwares, okay? They are very easy interface, very straightforward, and really fun to actually, because it's real-time rendering, not something like V-Ray, for example. Twinmotion and Lumion, they makes it really fun to actually work with. So I think that's an important step if you're going to invest a lot of your time in these softwares. Of course, the asset library includes good quality, and that's when we're talking about SketchUp, we have the 3D warehouse. You better 3D model library, then that is going to be difficult. Again, Twinmotion stands out for the growth setting and the presentation mode and its possibilities for the near future, because it's owned by Epic Games, so it has a lot of things going on. And Lumion stands out in the high quality. So in terms of right now, at the present moment, the final quality images, Lumion stands out in relationship to Twinmotion right now at the present. Okay, so you have more detail in the planting, the final quality of the actual rendering, it's better. Of course, this what you need to think about is how you're going to use this project. Are you just using for you, using as a team? For example, I believe that Twinmotion has a better collaboration features than Lumion. They all have collaboration features. SketchUp, amazing on that. SketchUp is probably the best. Then Twinmotion, then Lumion, maybe. Okay, so of course in SketchUp you have the iPad app, which is amazing as well. So you need to think about all this. In the workbook I have this mentioned as well. And of course we're going to start talking about prices here. So right now it's 285 in here. SketchUp is a subscription software, so every year it went up. I think it's 300 now. So it just went up, and I've done this graphic before, so it's 300. That's something that scares me a little bit, to be honest. They're just going up every year now. I don't know. But anyway, it's 300 or 299 plus tax. Twinmotion right now, non-commercial use is free. The whole software is free, but if you're going to use it commercially, and this is a perpetual license, not subscription, you just pay it once, and that's 578.10 in euros, and includes taxes. Okay, and that's Portuguese tax. Lumion is on the higher end, and that's subscription as well, which is really scary a little bit if you're just starting out. So it's 499, so 1,499 plus tax per year. And that's for the Lumion Pro version, because if you're going to bet on Lumion, I don't think it's worth the cheaper version, to be honest, because you don't have as many effects and as many vegetation, and that's what really stands this program apart from the rest. So if you're not going to bet on that, you might as well just take just Twinmotion. Okay, so if you want to go for Lumion, go for the Lumion Pro. It's not worth it to do the cheaper version, in my opinion. So high-end quality, high-end costs. Okay, so right now, just for the software, you have one that's 300, you have one that almost 600, but you just pay it once, and you have Lumion that's 1,500, but you pay it every year. So every year you need to have 1,500 for this software. But if you hire end projects, if you have higher end customers, if you have premium works, premium jobs, right now you need to go to Lumion. Okay, so that's my honest opinion, and that's what I use in my professional practice. So if you want to have high-end customers and clients, you need to have higher-end quality of images as well. Okay, so think about that. So model 7, understanding hardware requirements. So what's really important here? Let's consider the difference between CPU and GPU, and that's what we're really talking about when it comes to these softwares, okay? So using this analogy, okay? So think of the CPU as the manager of a company, is responsible for overseeing the whole operation. The manager must know a little bit about everything, from accounting, HR, sales, marketing, etc. And that's why it's quite versatile, so able to handle complex tasks and make high-hand decisions. However, it can't do everything in once. So in contrast, you have the GPU. It's like a group of employees in a factory assembly line, and each worker only does one small task, but they can do many of those tasks simultaneously. So because there are also many workers, so they might not be able to handle a complex task as the CPU, but they're really good at a lot of simple tasks quickly. Okay, so that's GPU. So graphic card, a computer Now let's talk about how this relates with SketchUp and Twinmotion and Lumion. So the SketchUp is a 3D model software that uses architectural design and for civil engineering, etc. When you are creating models in SketchUp, the software is using the CPU. Okay, so like the brains, the manager is using that CPU for as a primary source for his tasks. Sorry. So for SketchUp, the CPU is the most important thing in your PC. So I'm just going to talk about PCs, okay? Because if you're going to use Lumion, you can't use it on Macs. If you're using Mac, you can translate this for Macs. But if you're just investing now on a machine, being PC or Mac, I suggest being a PC is going to be more cost effectively as well, and plus in the long run you can upgrade it, etc. easier. Plus for this kind of softwares, it's easy to work on PC. Okay, just a quick information. So SketchUp is stronger on the on the CPU side. Okay, the brain side, you need to invest on that if you're just using SketchUp. On the other hand, programs like Twinmotion and Lumion, so it's a real-time visualization and it's a lot of like gaming, okay? So you're gonna need a more 3D immersive software, and that's more heavy on the GPU, okay? So that's where the GPU comes in. So for the actual rendering of the scenes, because it's all real-time rendering, is like you're playing in a game setting, the GPU needs to be really strong, okay? And especially for ray tracing, okay? So that's a better way in versus to rasterize. Okay, I'm not going to go into deep into these terms, but know that ray tracing, it's a better technology that treats better the lighting in the rendering software. You need to have a graphic card that's RTX. Okay, so I give you here a few examples of the graphic cards. The big difference between Twinmotion and Lumion is not actually the quality of the graphic cards. They both need to be really good. Okay, on the other hand, always it's the actual hard drive space. So as you can see here, the low level entry point is always SketchUp. You can have a pretty inexpensive PC, laptop, and you can run SketchUp without major issues. But you need to have hard drive space if you're working with Lumion, especially 75 for Twinmotion 30. Okay, so that's a big difference in hard drive space. In here on the left, I have an estimate costs. Always go for the higher end, okay? Because sometimes you go to the software web pages and they give you PC requirements and they go from low, medium, and high. But because you're working with plants, okay, they're really high polygon models. They are really heavy on your PC. You will always need to have a higher end uh, computer, even if it's for small residential garden design projects. Okay, so that's something really important because they have these references and they're mostly talking with architects. Okay, so for landscape architects, I think you always need to go for a higher end because of you're going to be using a lot of plant models. So, so in here, in terms of PC requirements, difference between Twinmotion and Lumion is not a lot, except for the hard drive disk space that you need to have. Okay, so everything else, again, in the workbook, I have all this information. So again, I did here a little bit of which bundle, what's going to cost you. So of course, if you go just with SketchUp, you just have the PC and the SketchUp subscription, 300 a year, and you set to go. Okay, that's SketchUp Pro, you set to go, and that's cool. If you want Twinmotion and SketchUp, it's going to be around 3,000, the investment plus tax, and the actual after annual subscription of just SketchUp. If you want to go with SketchUp and Lumion, you're gonna have an initial investment of almost another 1,800. So you have, sorry, another 800. I mean, you have 3,000 SketchUp and Twinmotion, 3,800 SketchUp and Lumion. But in the long run, the SketchUp and Lumion are going to be much more expensive. Why? Because every year, SketchUp and Twinmotion, you're going to pay only €300 plus tax. And every year, SketchUp and Lumion, you're going to pay 1,784 every year plus tax. Okay? So that's the big difference, not just the initial investment, because the difference is not much in there, but is the actual every year in the long run is going to be much more expensive. And here I have the courses if you want to do both, and you have access to the updates and access for 5 years to the courses, exclusive groups. You have loads of bonuses and things to go into when it comes to the online courses. So you can start seeing here really interesting things to think about, and really, start thinking about not just the costs in the long run, the scope of projects, really, really important when you're deciding what you want to do. So you're gonna have to think not only of the initial cost, you're gonna want to think of what image you want to present, what type of projects you are trying to get. Because if you're having smaller residential projects, you're gonna be amazing with just SketchUp and Twinmotion. If you have high-end premium projects, I think you need to go with SketchUp and Lumion. Okay, that's my opinion. Module 8, looking forward for trends and future advancements in 3D visualization. This is something you should really look for, okay? So always be on the lookout for what's being developed in terms of technology and how that's going to translate in communicating better your designs. So all these three softwares are really good, especially SketchUp in Twinmotion. They are definitely better in this than Lumion. Okay, so as you contemplate the software you're going to be purchasing, you need to think about what they are doing in terms of VR, augmented reality, etc. And SketchUp is definitely in the forefront of this. Okay, so you have a lot of skills. Even if you're thinking, oh, no, this is something I'm not going to use right now with my client. And to be honest, I don't normally use with my clients nothing like virtual reality, etc. But it's something to have in mind if the software are working to have that kind of elements. Okay, so that's really important. So what's their development when you're doing the research on the softwares? What's their development when it comes to visualization capabilities, design communication? Okay, what's being done, what they're working for the future. So anything that's got to do with the augmented reality and virtual reality, it's really important. So even if they don't influence right now your communication, it's really important to have to, because you're going to invest a lot of time learning these softwares. You're going to invest money, but more importantly time. You don't want to be investing time on a software that's not going anywhere, okay, that it's not being developed. So that's why I like subscription methods as well, because it means that they are going to keep going and developing and having more, because they need to keep the software updated all the time. Okay, so they're going to develop new skills, new elements, new settings, etc., that is going to make the software better, and that's definitely what you want. Okay, so this is something really important when you're researching your softwares, just to have this in the future. And of course, in the workbook you have their websites and roadmap portals. So all of them, I don't think SketchUp has a portal of a roadmap, but Twinmotion and Lumion have, where you can see what they are working on, okay, for the future. So module 9, conclusions and next steps. So, this is some introduction to my online courses and workshops available. I have more in different levels of the softwares as well, from Lumion 9, 10, 11, etc. So the next software that's going to be updated, it's the Twinmotion one in the online course. Okay, but anytime you purchase for example, you purchase a Twinmotion, an older course, you're going to have the updates available to you when they come out. Okay, so that's a way of buying it cheaper. If you just purchase the old one, and when the new come out, just send me an email and I upgraded you. It's really important key points learning from this workshop is to highlight and highlight the resources available for future learning. So future learning and development is something I'm really encourage. Okay, you need to keep learning, keep investing in not only in this kind of online courses, but the programs Twinmotion, Lumion, SketchUp have amazing resources, tutorials, etc. So you keep enriching your capabilities. I think that's really important. Throughout the workshop, you have explored the benefits and considerations for each software. So, think wisely when you're doing your choice. But I think by understanding their unique features and strengths, you're going to have equipped in an informed decision base for your specific needs and preference. Okay, that's really important. Don't worry so much about the learning curve, because most of all these softwares, they have some learning curve, especially SketchUp and layout. Okay, but they are pretty easy and user friendly, all of them. Okay, so of course we have our platform, our garden design tools of online courses, so we can go into depth, and all the courses have workbooks, a lot of bonuses, so you can work checklists, exercises, etc. Of course, and you have, like I was saying, tutorials of their brands, the Lumion, Twinmotion, etc. You have a lot of tutorials online. Plus I have my YouTube channel as well as community groups in Facebook if you're a user, etc. So it's time to take your next steps. So just think about, analyze what I have in a workbook for you. Okay, don't forget to register if you're not registered. It's just in the link of the description of this video. Just analyze, and I have all the costs there as well, and the PC requirements as well. So if you want to go into depth into that, so and really make an informed decision if you're just in that path to choose the right 3D visualization tools for your future projects. Okay, so as you embark on this journey of this 3D visualization journey, just remember to stay curious, seek inspiration, and engage with the garden design community. See what other garden designers, other colleagues or landscapers are doing. Okay, so group communities are really good. If you want to seek out inspiration, okay, I think Instagram is amazing for that. And any question you've got regarding these softwares, just let me know. Again, if you're just working with ArchiCAD and Revit, they work really well with Twinmotion and Lumion as well. Okay, so you have these integrations, and it's really they're really easy to go from one software to another. So this is some of the bonuses we have in our courses. Of course, the workbook, resources, checklists, exercise, we have community group. You can get certified. There is a process for that. And VIP editions of the groups have a lot more bonuses, plus workshops. All the workshops are included, and one-on-one consultations, and that's for those who want a more personal learning experience. Okay, so if you want more help with your projects, etc., getting results faster, it's the VIP edition. And we have coming in soon the SketchUp School for garden design landscapers, something I'm really looking forward, and that's going to have a lot of not only the course and workshops, but really focus on SketchUp workshops with for specific plugins and extensions, working with terrain, etc. So something I'm really looking forward to go live. Okay, so that's really cool. And of course the workbook, and you have coupon codes for discount in the workbook if you want to check that out. And thank you very much for being here today. This is a new kind of workshop I'm doing it, and I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope it was informative. That's the most important thing. Again, check out the workbook. I have all this information plus more. So I have a lot of more comprehensive knowledge of the softwares in there as well. And if you have any questions, reach out on Instagram or by email. See you guys in the next one.